Hey besties, it's aliyahlynettex back at it again with another video. In today's video, let's talk about 10 things to know before traveling to South Africa. So a lot of these things I researched, some things that I found while I was on my 2-week journey in South Africa. If you haven't watched my vlogs, be sure to go watch my vlogs after this video to see exactly what I did on my journey. I created a whole series because I did a few different things. I went to personally go visit. I went to Johannesburg, Cape Town, and Kruger National Park, which I personally really enjoyed. I honestly love South Africa. South Africa has been my #1 trip so far, and I've been to 33 countries. South Africa beat everything. Maybe because I was there for the longest. I don't know, but it was giving everything it needed to give. Let's chat it up, okay? So #1 question I get all the time is, do you need a yellow fever shot? Do you need a visa? No, you do not need a yellow fever shot, and you also do not need a visa as long as you're coming from the US. So I personally, as y'all know, I live in New York, but I went from New York to Atlanta to Johannesburg, and that's how I traveled. So as a US citizen, you don't need a visa, you don't need a yellow fever shot. If you are coming from countries that have yellow fever or whatever, then you will need a yellow fever shot. But me personally, I did not need one. Malaria is real. Within the safari areas, just be very careful. It's crazy because one of my friends actually part-time lives in Africa, and I think while I was in South Africa, she actually caught malaria in the country that she's from, which was kind of scary. And then by the Kruger National Park, there are a lot of malaria doctors and pharmacists and all that stuff. I was nervous about malaria because this was my first time really experiencing a safari and experiencing Africa. Malaria is a disease, I guess, that is deathly if not treated right away, if not properly treated. And it comes from biting of mosquitoes, mosquito bites, and all that. So be very, very careful. I personally used a bug spray with 99% DEET in it. I'm pretty sure. I got it off Amazon. I sprayed everything every single day. And if you watch my vlogs, if you notice there's like stains on my clothes, it's because I sprayed the bug spray all over my clothes. I was not playing in my hair, everything. I was not playing with none of that. Okay. Each city is a completely different vibe. Like I said, I experienced Kruger National Park, Johannesburg, and Cape Town. I'm going to talk more about the differences later in this video, but each city is a completely different vibe. So when you are planning your trip to South Africa, I do highly recommend staying for at least a week, 2 weeks, or even more if you can, and visiting each different city. Do not spend your entire trip in one location because they're different vibes. They give off different experiences. So if you do choose to stay in one location, that's up to you, but I personally would not suggest it. I'm so grateful and blessed that I was able to spend 2 weeks there. I'm grateful and blessed that I was able to experience a lot of what I wanted to experience. I do want to go back because it just wasn't enough time. I feel like when you do travel and do a lot and see different places, it's just never enough time. So it was not enough time. I definitely want to go back there. I did get a tattoo while I was out there, so go watch my tattoo vlog. And I do want to go see my tattoo artist again in Cape Town because he was T. Okay. Gentrification is literally real in Cape Town. Honestly, they say that apartheid is over and the genocide is over. It's not over, especially in Cape Town. Cape Town, you experience it the most. Cape Town, no shade, all tea. It's very whitewashed. You do have culture there. You do have your natives there, but it's giving definitely European. And I know we learn about this in school, but seeing it is literally real. So my first experience with it, and my body went into shock. I'm not gonna lie to you. I've heard about it. I was told stories. I did research, but seeing it is a completely different vibe. So I went into a restaurant. Off the top of my head, I cannot remember the name. I did go into a it was off Kloof Street. Carne, off Kloof Street. I was recommended to this restaurant by a friend that's been to Cape Town. So I went. The food was good. Not gonna lie to you. I don't know what I got because the waiter suggested something off the menu, but it was really good. I think it was like some type of beef or whatever, but it was amazing. The food was A1. But it was definitely a cultural shock. So I walked into the restaurant to the point where, I walked into the restaurant and I seen nothing. And I'm not even lying, but white people. And me personally, like, I'm mixed race. So that doesn't really bother me on a normal basis. I have my white side of my family, which also is mixed. My family, my mom's side of the family is not completely white. We are mixed on that side. But then you got my dad's family who's Caribbean and black and all that stuff, right? So, but walking into the restaurant and just really seeing it for yourself, traveling teaches you more than what textbooks could ever, okay? My school, when I was younger, they taught about genocide. They taught about apartheid. But seeing it was a completely different vibe. My body went into shock. I walked right out the restaurant to verify that I was in the right restaurant. Like, it's just an unexplainable feeling. Like, you just have to experience it yourself. I was not expecting it at all because we're now in 2026. So they talk about how apartheid is over, but it's not really over. And you see things in the textbooks, but you have to go there to really experience it and go there to hear stories from the natives, from the Robben Island Museum, how they talk about the tour guides are actual prisoners from Robben Island around the Nelson Mandela era. And it's just such a touching experience to really hear their stories and what they went through and apartheid in real life. Also, you can make your 2-week experience as affordable and as expensive as you want. I personally only spent about $2,600 for 2 weeks, not including flights, because my flight's a little different or whatever, not to brag or whatever. And I also had some hotel points, but I did everything that I wanted to experience. And like I said, go watch my vlogs, my series, to actually see what I got to do. But I personally feel like it was not that bad. Me personally. Cape Town has a bulletproof park, so let's talk about it. Cape Town has some areas near the airport that are very, very dangerous, to the point where I've heard stories and I've seen TikToks that people have gotten robbed over there, leaving the airport by car service, where I've heard stories where they said to get black cars, tinted windows, leaving the airport, because that's how dangerous it could be by the airport. There's a road that I heard is like extremely dangerous, whatever. So over those areas, and it's sad to say, those are where the culture is, and that's where the black people reside, a lot of them. In Cape Town, I'm not gonna lie to you, this is what I experienced, and this is what I've been told by Uber drivers and my research and stuff. Unfortunately, that's what it is. I didn't make the rules. This is what it is, unfortunately. But they do have a bulletproof park because that's how dangerous those areas are, to keep the children safe and the families safe that are going to the parks. This is Africa's first bulletproof park, and it's kind of scary. I did not go to those areas, but I did research and heard stories. Johannesburg is a very cultural city. You get very African vibes. You'll get kids playing on the outside of the streets, walking. It was very cultural, and I enjoyed that. But Cape Town, like I said, is very gentrified, where Cape Town, you will have there was an area, I don't remember the name, but it gave real Beverly Hills. Like, it was houses on the side of the cliffs, and they said a lot of celebrities live there. A lot of movies have been filmed in Africa itself. So know that when you are trying to plan your trip to Africa, if you want more of a cultural vibe, stick to Johannesburg. If you want more of a mixed vibe and go to cafes and beach vibes and all that stuff, add Cape Town to your itinerary. The currency is Rand, but cards are widely accepted. I did not get any cash except for, I think, my safari trip because I wanted to tip in cash and all that. Africa is super accessible and doable, more than one would think. South Africa itself, because you get all the vibes that you're looking for. You get the party, nightlife, the beach vibes, the culture, the history. And there are 3 cities, 2 airlines with direct flights from the United States. Delta has a flight out of Atlanta, and United has flights out of Newark, New Jersey, and IAD, the DC area. Now let's talk about some fun facts that I learned while I was there. South Africa has 11 official languages. The big 5, the animals in the safari, can be seen at Kruger National Park. Kruger National Park is one of the most budget-friendly safaris wildlife in the continent of Africa. Cape Town has one of the most iconic mountains in the world. It's called Table Mountain. I was supposed to go visit it, but because of the winds, I wasn't able to on the day that I booked to go, so I did get a refund. Cape Town has a coastal point where the Indian Ocean and the Atlantic Ocean meet. It's called the Cape of Good Hope. I did go see it. That's the southernmost point in South Africa. Well, in Africa, on the continent of Africa. South Africa is one of Africa's most developed economies. You will see skyscrapers. You will see all of that. The city life in Johannesburg, in Cape Town. South Africa has so much history. Like, I'm not even joking. So much history. And like I said, each city has different history. Each city has different struggles. Each city has different areas that will give that culture and that history. Diamond is huge in South Africa, especially Cape Town. I just see a lot of diamond stores. Cape Town is one of the world's largest wine routes. I was supposed to go on a wine tour, but yeah, the time difference had me messed up, okay? Penguins can be found at Boulder Beach in Cape Town. I did go to experience that. The penguins literally walk on the street, the beach, or whatever, as if they own it, okay? That's their city. That's their land. That's their beach, all right? Because, yeah, apparently they, many years ago, they swam from Antarctica to Cape Town, Boulder Beach, and they stayed there. They never left. Okay, so that's it for some things and fun facts about South Africa from my experience, what I experienced, what I seen, what I learned while I was there. And yeah. If you enjoyed this video and you enjoyed these type of videos, be sure to subscribe to my channel, put on your post notification, give us a big thumbs up, comment down below what was a fact that you did not know. Do you have any more questions about South Africa? This will sum up and wrap up my South African content. Hope you guys enjoyed. Unless you guys have more questions or things you want to know, comment them down below. I love y'all so much. Leah outie.
He gon' take her whatever she want. She piss me off somehow, she still get whatever she want. Talking about a nigga from the Nella as a home. Hit it in the shower, made her tell me what she want. Like I'm singing mix, I made her tell me what she want.